Hello there. This has got the woke lefty globalist types foaming at the mouth because the person they call evil, Donald Trump, is bringing peace to Europe by ending the Ukraine-Russia war. What a pickle the elite internationalists are in, especially in the US, where their hate figure, the new US President Donald Trump, has a huge approval rating amongst the masses as he continues his Make America Great Again campaign. His MAGA campaign of listening to what his voters want, not listening to some smarmy so-called partners infesting Davos and the UN. There should be a message in there somewhere for our other Western leaders, especially in Europe, don't you think? If they were minded to listen, that is. But for our European leaders, the people are not to be listened to. The people's job is to listen to the orders of their political elites. And it was these Western leaders who denounced Donald Trump and J.D. Vance as bullies for taking a hard stance with President Zelensky of Ukraine. A hard stance that was looking for peace in Europe. And Trump played it beautifully. He's talking to Putin and has Zelensky apologising for his previous outburst and gearing up for a fast peace deal. While all we hear from Western leaders is a mishmash of talk. But Trump is also multitasking. Not only has a US company, BlackRock, announced it will follow through on one of Trump's main aims by purchasing the ports at both ends of the Panama Canal from the Hong Kong firm that owns them, something that might have led to China's pronouncements today about fighting the US to the bitter end. But also just look at some of the things Trump told the joint session of Congress in his brilliant speech yesterday. The sort of things that are diametrically opposed to the globalist slow suffocation of Western democracies.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Ouch. New president? That'll hurt.
Slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find. We will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Now, who could argue with that vision of a president for his country?
Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. No step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done, everybody. Border Patrol, ICE, Well, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to.
I see that DEI now stands for Deport Every Illegal. No wonder the lefty liberal are so hot under the collar. And then he announced support for US farmers.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen. And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long.
Here we have a national leader who is leading his nation down the path his people want to go. That is why the US is lining up for success. What we have in Europe is a bunch of woke lefties who are determined to force their respective millions of people down a path they do not want to go. That is why Europe is destined to fail at every level. And now we have the US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying on X, "Amazing! US Air Force! Americans are excited to serve their country again. The next generation of the American warfighter will be joining the greatest fighting force the world has ever known." And the US Air Force Chief of Staff, General David Alvin, announced, "Breaking news, our recruiting numbers in December, January and February were the best in 15 years. As Secretary of Defense said, Americans are excited to join, which is why we have 13,000 recruits in our delayed entry program, most in nearly 10 years. All recruiting stats look great, even with 20% goal hike in 25. Now, when the aim is the true defence of a nation you love, people will always step up the plate to serve. What they won't do is put their lives on the line, then spend the rest of their lives being chased by human rights lawyers just for doing their job. I really wish our European politicians would take a leaf out of the Trump playbook. But what do I now hear? The UK Shadow Lord Chancellor and Secretary of State for Justice putting out on X that under new government guidance, prison sentences will be less likely for ethnic minorities and faith minority communities. This would create a two-tier justice system. We believe in equality under the law. Why doesn't Labour? And here's what he said in the House of Commons.
Turning to the new sentencing guidelines that's been published alongside this statement, which will make a custodial sentence less likely for, and I quote, ethnic minorities, cultural minorities, and faith minority communities. Why is the Justice Secretary enshrining this double standard, this two-tier approach to sentencing? This is an inversion of the rule of law. We on this side of the House believe in equality under the law. Why doesn't she?
But I don't care what Jenrick says, his party was instrumental in setting the ground for Starmer to become two-tier Keir. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and check out our other channel, Jeff Taylor, link in the descriptions box below, and thank you for watching.